Okay, so what we'll do, let us do one small example. Let us take one small example problem based on section 35, so we can proceed further to the next section, which is nothing but section 35 AD. Okay, so let us take one small conceptual problem. Okay, so example number 1. So let us take this as your example number 1. Example 1. Okay, let us see. Yeah, Mr. Praveen incurred the following expenses. Mr. Praveen incurred the following expenses. Incurred the following expenses towards scientific research. Towards scientific research. Incurred the following expenses towards scientific research. Okay, Mr. Praveen incurred the following expenses towards scientific research for the year ended 31st March 20. Okay, for the year ended 31st March 20. For the year ended 31st March 20, the following information is given. Let us see what are those expenses. 1. Expenses number 1. First one is something payment to K Research Limited. It's a company. Payment to K Research Limited is a company. As the name says, the company's main objective is doing some sort of research. Let us consider everything rupees in lakhs. Now, let us see what is the amount. The amount is given there as 20 lakhs. So ultimately, payment to K Research Limited, 20 lakhs is the amount made. Then the other thing mentioned is also making a payment to a college. Payment to LMN college. So the payment is made towards something called as LMN college. Let us consider the amount is nothing but 15 lakhs. So the amount is 15 lakhs is the amount paid towards the college. Now the next thing is nothing but payment to OPQ college. Okay, payment to another college, to OPQ college. So payment is made to OPQ college. Let us consider the amount being 10 lakhs is the amount of contribution. Now what is mentioned? It is mentioned that K Limited, okay, K Limited and LMN are approved. K Limited and LMN college are approved. Means what? OPQ college is not approved. That's what is the meaning for it. Now, let us take the next contribution for that. Okay, right. Now, the next payment is nothing but payment to National Laboratory. What? Payment to National Laboratory. So he has done some sort of payment to something called as the National Laboratory. Let us consider the amount of payment to the National Laboratory is going to be 8 lakhs. So 8 lakhs is the amount of contribution. Then machinery purchase for in-house research. Then what? Purchase of machinery for in-house research. Purchase of machinery for in-house research. Let us consider the amount being 25 lakhs. So in-house research, the amount is being 25 lakhs. Then next one. The next one, salaries to staff engaged in scientific research. Salaries paid to staff engaged in in-house research. Salaries paid to staff engaged in in-house research. That means whatever in-house research you are doing, for that in-house research you are engaging some sort of staff. For them the salary paid is nothing but 12 lakhs rupees. Now ultimately the objective of this problem is what? Compute deduction under section 35. So you need to compute the amount of deduction which you are supposed to avail under something called as section 35. That's what is the thing which we are supposed to consider. Then, okay. So now let us get into the solution. First, let us go through the problem, each and every point of the problem. Then we'll start working with the solution. So now let us see here the solution part. What is the solution and how we are supposed to solve that? Let us try to see. Now, okay. So let me continue the solution on the next page. Okay. Solution. Let us see what could be, how we can do the solution. First, let us read the question, then we'll try to see the solution part. What is done? Payment made to K Limited. So the first part of the problem is specifying about payment is made to what? Payment is made to a company. So whenever payment is made to a company, we have discussed that what? Section 35, subsection 1, clause 2a. So what 35 subsection 1 clause 2a says? Any payment made to a company engaged in doing some sort of scientific research, then ultimately whatever amount you contribute, 100% of that is allowed as reduction. So in this case, what I will do? 200%, 100% of that is eligible as reduction. Then whatever contribution made to any sort of approved institution, association, institution, college or university doing a scientific research, 1.5%, 1.5 times of the expenditure is allowed as reduction. Under what? 35 subsection 1 clause 2. Under 35 subsection 1 clause 2, 15 lakhs into 1.5 is allowed as reduction. Then payment made to OPQ college, 10 lakhs. It is mentioned that LMN is approved. That means OPQ is not approved. So as it is not approved, I cannot take 1.5. So what I can do? I can take only 100% of that. Only 10 lakhs can be taken as reduction. So here what we are trying to do? Yeah, no. Here as it is not approved, because the provision says what? Any sort of university or institution or college or whatever it is approved, then only the deduction is eligible. So here as nothing is mentioned for OPQ, I am considering it as an unapproved. So it is not approved. This 10 lakhs you cannot take that as reduction. This 10 lakhs will not be allowed as reduction. So this 10 lakhs you can't take it as reduction. Then payment to National Laboratory. You had made a payment to National Laboratory 35, section 35 subsection 2 AA says any sort of payment towards National Laboratory, university or IIT doing an approved scientific research, 1.5 times of the expenditure is allowed as reduction. So here 8 lakhs is the amount paid, 8 lakhs into 1.5 times, that will be allowed as reduction in the case of contribution to National Laboratory under section 35 2A. Then what? Purchase of machine for in-house research. This is very important. Why? Because by looking at the word in-house research, ultimately your mind will be going to something called as 35 subsection 2AB. But no. Section 35 2AB is applicable if you look into the conditions. What is the applicability? Applicability is for a company. And what the company is doing? The company is engaged in either biotechnology, or company is engaged in manufacture of any article or thing other than article specified in 11th schedule, then only 35 2AB will be applicable. If 35 2AB is applicable, then what is the case there? 35 2AB says that 1.5 times of the expenditure incurred is allowed as reduction. But here, Mr. Praveen is not a company. So ultimately, as he is not a company, so ultimately I cannot apply section 35 2AB. But what I can apply? Purchase of machinery is a capital expenditure. As that amounts to capital expenditure, I can take that as reduction under 35 subsection 1 clause 4. Whatever capital expenditure incurred for scientific research, 100% of that expenditure can be taken as reduction. Same case with the next. In-house research, you should not go to 35 subsection 2 AB, but you should come to section 35 subsection 1 clause 1. What is clause 1? Any sort of revenue expenditure incurred for the scientific research. That revenue expenditure incurred for the scientific research is allowed as deduction. So that's what is nothing but the deduction part which we are supposed to consider. So ultimately that's what is the summary. So now let us prepare a small table here. In that let us try to calculate the total amount of deduction along with writing some sort of working notes. Now let us see transaction or particulars. So let us call this as your particulars is one column. So in this case, in this column, we are not going to write anything. We are going to write only simply the amount of expenditure incurred. Whatever amount of expenditure incurred, only that will be writing into consideration. That's what is your particulars. Then what? Then we'll be writing your section number, under which section you are going to take. Then I will be adding the next column, which is nothing but expenditure, whatever expenditure incurred. Okay, whatever expenditure incurred I will consider. Then I will be considering the discount, deduction percentage. If the deduction is 100% or the deduction is 1.5, which is nothing but 150%. So ultimately the last column will be total amount of deduction which you are going to consider. First case, first point. What is the first one? Payment to K Limited. So payment is happening to K Limited. So ultimately which section, as I have mentioned, any sort of payment to a company, 35 subsection 1 2A, as it is a company, even though it is approved doing a scientific research, what is the percentage you can take? 100. What is the amount he is making? 20 lakhs. Again, rupees in lakhs. Let us consider rupees in lakhs. Here also let us consider rupees in lakhs. So that's what is the columns we are having. Now what is the percentage of deduction there? 100% is nothing but the deduction. 20 lakhs is the contribution made. Of that 100% is what? 20 lakhs. So the first contribution eligible is going to be 20 lakhs. Now second, what is the second contribution made? Payment to LMN college, which is approved. Okay, which is approved. So for everything you need to put a working note. So you need to put that as a working note number 1. You have to mention this as a part of your working note number 1. This you are supposed to mention as a part of your working note number 2. Okay, now here what you will be getting? Which section is that? 35 subsection 1 clause 2. Will be considering this as a part of your 35 subsection 1 clause 2. What is the amount paid? 15 lakhs was the amount paid. Ultimately, any sort of contribution to approved university, approved association, approved institution, approved college, whatever it is, 1.5 times. 1.5 times, or I can consider it as a 150%. 15 into 150, that is going to give you 22.5 lakhs. So 22.5 lakhs is nothing but your payment to LMN college. Now third, let us see what is your third payment. Third payment was made to OPQ college. Payment to which college? Payment was made to something called as OPQ college. This you try to explain as a part of your working note number 3. There you try to explain everything clearly and detailedly. Then what? 35 subsection 1. So ultimately what? Even this is also covered as a part of your subsection 2, because there it is clearly mentioned that under the so and so section, only contribution to the approved institution, college or university is allowed as reduction. Being OPQ college not approved, nothing is allowed as reduction. What is the amount paid? The amount paid is 10 lakhs, but we are not going to give anything as the deduction. So nothing is allowed as reduction. That's what is nothing but your third contribution. Then fourth. Okay, so let us see fourth. Okay, let us see fourth one. Yeah, fourth. What is fourth? Payment to national laboratory. First, let us write the payment there. Payment to national laboratory. You mention this as a part of your working note number 4. This is nothing but your working note. Then what I will do, which section is that? Section 35 subsection 2AA. So here the section is what? 35 subsection 2AA is nothing but the section. What is the amount paid to the national laboratory? 8 lakhs is the amount paid to the national laboratory. What is the percent as per section 2AA? Any sort of contribution made to national laboratory, IIT, any sort of approved research, scientific research, 1.5 times, it's nothing but your 150% is allowed as deduction. So what is 150% here? The 150% is nothing but 12 lakhs. So the 150% is going to be something called as what? 12 lakhs. Now, fifth one. What is the fifth one? If you look into the problem, the fifth one says machinery purchase for in-house research. Purchase of machinery for in-house. In-house research is nothing but your fifth. You try to explain this as a part of your working note number 5. Which section is that? You should not consider section 35 to AB. That also you should mention. So what you need to do? Even though the machinery is purchased for in-house research, as the SSC is not a company and not engaged in manufacture or not engaged in biotechnology, ultimately section 35 to AB is not applicable. Instead of section 35 to AB, which section is applicable there? Section 35 subsection 4. Section 35 subsection 1 clause 4. Section 35 subsection 1 clause 4. So what is the amount there? Amount of expenses incurred is nothing but 25 lakhs. What is the amount of deduction? 100% of the capital expenditure incurred for the scientific research is allowed as deduction. So 25 lakhs, 100% is again coming to 25 lakhs. Now the last one. Last one, what? Salaries paid to staff. Salaries paid to staff engaged in in-house research. So this is nothing but your 6th point. You try to elaborately explain this in the working note number 6. So ultimately, what is the section here? 35 subsection 1 clause 1. So here 35 subsection 1 clause 1 says that any, so again you should not confuse this with in-house research, because in-house research, what we have discussed, whatever expense incurred, whether it is a revenue or capital, 1.5%, 1.5 times of the expenditure is already. But to whom that is applicable? That is applicable only to a company which is engaged in biotechnology, which is engaged in manufacture. So either it could be capital or it could be revenue. But to this SSC, to Mr. Praveen, section 35 2AB is not applicable. So as section 35 2AB is not applicable, either he can take that under section 35 subsection 1 clause 1 revenue, section 35 subsection 1 clause 4 if that is a capital expenditure. What is the salaries paid? Salaries paid by him is coming to 12 lakhs. What this section says, 100% of the revenue expenditure incurred will be allowed as deduction. What is the 100% coming to? 12 lakhs into 100% is coming to 12 lakhs. So this total of this is nothing but your total deduction. So eligible, what I will write here, eligible deduction under section 35. So under section 35, this is the total eligible deduction. 20 plus 22.5 gives you 42.5. 42.5 plus 12 plus 25 plus 12 should give you around 91.5 lakhs. So everything in lakhs. That's what we have already mentioned here. Now you are supposed to write now the working notes. So I want you to write the working notes. I will explain for you again. So I just quickly write the working notes. Okay. So now let me put it here. Yeah. Working notes. So now I will explain you how to write the working notes basically. Working notes. Total working notes, you should have 6 working notes. First working note is about what? Payments made to a company. So what the act says, any sort of payments made to a company is allowed as deduction under section 35 subsection 1 clause 2. So What is the act says? The act says that 100% of the expenditure is ZOS reduction. That's what is nothing but your first working note. Then the second working note and third working note is what? Any sort of payments made to an approved association, approved institute, approved university, approved college is allowed as reduction. So in this case, LMN college is approved, OPQ college is not approved. So whatever contribution you make to the approved institution or association under section 35 subsection 1 clause 2, 1.5 times or 150 times is allowed as reduction. As the other college, OPQ is not approved, nothing is allowed as reduction. That's what you should clearly mention as a part of your working notes. Then, what is the fourth one? The fourth one is nothing but National Laboratory. 35 subsection 2AA, you should mention any sort of contribution to National Laboratory, Institute of Technology, which is carrying on approved scientific research, 1.5 times or 150% of that is allowed as deduction. That's the reason 8 lakhs into 1.5, 12 lakhs is considered as a deduction. Fifth one, you should clearly explain that is not to be considered as 35 subsection 2AB. Why? Because that is applicable only for a company, and Mr. Praveen is not a company, not engaged in manufacture, not engaged in biotechnology. So ultimately he can't take 35 2AB, but he can take 35 subsection 1 clause 4. So that's the reason we have applied 35 subsection 1 clause 4. Same case for your sixth working note. You cannot apply 35 2AB. You are applying what? Section 35 subsection 1 clause 1. So that's what should be your working note. So I hope you can take the working notes. So with that assumption, as you can take the working note, I am moving on to the next section. Let us try to understand your next section. Okay. So any sort of difficulties in writing the working notes, you please put a message to me so that I will help you. So now let us move on to the next section, which is nothing but section 35 AD. Okay, section 35 AD. Let us see. Section 35 AD. What is this? See, already this point we had touched across several cases. Section 28, when we have discussed the charging section, there we had discussed that whenever any asset used for specified business is demolished, is discarded, is destroyed, okay, you are getting some sort of consideration from demolishing, discarding or sale of the old asset. Whatever money you get, where that is taxable under the head profits and gains from bills of profession. So there I had mentioned we'll be discussing this in further detail when we are going to section 35 AD. So now let us discuss something called as 35 AD. Here we'll discuss what are the business which are called as specified business, what is the amount of deduction, what are the conditions which you are supposed to comply. So that's what is something called as a specified business. Now let us see, section 35 AD is applicable if the business is something called as specified business. Okay, specified business. Section 35 AD deals with something called as specified business. So now, what is the meaning of specified business? That's what we should understand first. So specified, this gives you a list of business which are called as specified business. Again, the same concept of specified business we'll discuss one more time when we are dealing with something called as set off and carry forward of losses. There again I will test the topic setting and carry forward of loss of a specific business. There again I will discuss. Now first let us try to understand something called as specified business. Now what is called as specified business? First let us see. Any SSA, if he is engaged in something called as cold chain facilities, cold chain storage facilities, if you are doing the business, ultimately I will say you are doing a business which is something called as a specified business. The first business covered under 35 AD is what? Cold chain facility. Cold chain facility means what? Any person who is doing this business of providing a cold chain storage facilities to anyone to store their goods in this cold chain or cold storage, then the person is said to be doing a business which is something called as a specified business. Then let us try to understand the next one. You are engaged in providing something which is called as warehouse warehouse facility. Okay, warehouse facility of what? Warehouse facilities for agriculture produce is very important. Agriculture produce. Why? Because what is the meaning of agriculture produce? Whatever crop or whatever product which you are getting directly from the earth is something called as agriculture products. If you change the shape, if you alter the characteristics, then ultimately that is no more called as your agriculture products. Say suppose you are getting potatoes from the earth, I will call the potato as the agriculture product. But if you convert the potato into something called as potato wafers or potato chips, I cannot call the wafers and the chips as the agriculture product. So storage of potato chips is different, storage of potatoes is different. Again, storage of groundnuts is different, storage of groundnut oil is different. You are taking the groundnut is converted into oil, storing the oil. That is not covered here. So any person who is engaged in storing of agriculture product is said to be covered under your agriculture products. Okay, so that's what is the second type of business which you are to be considered as a part of your what uh, specified business. Then the third one also speaks about something called as warehouse. What is this? Already we have covered one warehouse. Now this warehouse facility is about storage of what? Storage of sugar. If you are storing sugarcane is something called as agriculture products. Storage of sugar is not an agriculture product, but even though it is not an agriculture product, as 35 AD specifically mentions a point of storage of sugar, they will consider that to be called as what? Specified business only. Then the next one is something called as for hospitals. Okay, so again, any person who is providing a cold chain facility, say I am putting this in an easy order for your remembrance. Storage. So all the three categories of storage I am trying to put it at one place. Okay, cold chain, agriculture products, sugar. Then the fourth one which I am putting is related to your agriculture, which is nothing but your fertilizers. So any company which is engaged in generating or developing some fertilizers. So ultimately what? Any enterprise engaged in production of fertilizers. Any company engaged in production of fertilizers is also called as the specified business. I am trying to put everything in an order so that becomes easy for you for your remembrance. Cold chain is one thing, storage warehouse of your agriculture product, warehouse of your sugar, and fertilizers. The fertilizers which is used for your agriculture. So ultimately that's what is nothing but your fourth specified business. Then comes your hospitals and hotels. Now then let us try to say any person who is running a hospital, if the hospital consists maximum 100 beds. So any hospital which have at least minimum, not maximum, minimum, any hospital which is having minimum 100 beds is said to be called as a special business. Now the next one, the sixth one. What is the sixth one? The sixth one is speaking about the hotel. Anyone running a hotel business which may be 2-star or above. 2-star or above. Any hotel which is called as 2-star or above is said to be called as special business. What is the meaning of star? Whenever you are paying your bill, if you are able to see the stars, ultimately that will be called as a star hotel. Due to the higher price of the bill, that will be called as a star hotel. Okay. So ultimately, here what? Cold chain facility, storage of agriculture product, storage of sugar, production of fertilizers, any hospital having 100 beds, any sort of hotel having more than 2-star or above is said to be called as a specified business. Then what? Then any person who is engaged in construction of housing projects, which is called as affordable housing projects or affordable housing scheme. So something called as housing projects. What is that housing project? It's a government housing project, and you are constructing the housing projects under something called as affordable housing scheme. The government is launching a scheme. You can buy the house at the lesser cost. So ultimately, you are doing the construction and giving the house to the government, and the government is giving the house to the public. So ultimately, you are doing a business which is said to be called as a specified business. Then the next point also I am putting something related to the construction, so that becomes easy for your this. Now, okay, what is the next one? Housing under rehabilitation program. So you are engaged again in construction, but now what? Under something called as rehabilitation program. So under something called as rehabilitation scheme, say there is some earthquake, there is some sort of flood in that area, all the houses were destroyed due to the natural calamity. Then government is approaching you, you are constructing the houses, handing over the houses to the government is giving the houses to the public. You are said to be doing something called as a specified business. Then okay, so then let us move on to the next one here. The next point is something regarding, okay, the next point is what? You are extracting natural gas, you are extracting petroleum, and you had laid down a pipeline across the country. That means from the Godavari basin or whatever it is, you are extracting the crude, you are extracting the gas. So that gas is distributed across the country through the help of a pipeline. Okay, so ultimately that's what is also said to be called as the specified business. So here what we are trying to do, any entity having a cross country network. So any cross country network of what? Pipelines. What is this for? These pipelines are basically laid down. Why they are laid down? For two things. Laid down, okay, these pipelines are laid down for transmission of natural gas. So for transmission of natural gas, or for transmission of petroleum, or for transmission of petroleum. So for these two things, if this pipeline is constructed, that is also said to be called as a specified business. And there is one more thing which we need to consider here. The next one is also something laying down of what? Pipeline. Laying down of pipeline. Now what? This pipeline is for transmission of something called as slurry iron ore. So there is something called as slurry. It's nothing but a type of iron ore. So what you are doing, laying down of pipeline for transmission of something called as slurry iron ore. Then ultimately, as you are engaged in laying of pipelines and transmission of your iron ore, which is slurry iron ore, is also said to be called as doing a specified business. One point of storage I need to mention it here, so I am adding it there itself. So all the storage will be at one place. Okay, so let me put at the first point like that. Now, as a part of your specified business, I want to add one more thing. There is something called as ICD. What is the meaning of ICD? Inland Container Depot, which will be near to the ports. So this inland container depot, you are storing some sort of goods. So storage, cold chain, ICD, agriculture produce, and there is something called as sugar. So these are the four things which you are having regarding the agriculture produce. Then related to the agriculture, there is something called as fertilizers. Then we have discussed 2 points regarding the construction. Then we have discussed 2 points regarding the laying of pipelines. One regarding laying of the pipelines for transmission of natural gas or petroleum. The next one is what? Laying of the gases for transmission of your slurry iron. Then there is something called as beekeeping. What is the meaning of beekeeping? You are trying to grow honeybees. So you are trying to produce honeybees. So beekeeping, okay, or production of honey. So any person engaged in growing of bees, honeybees, or in the process of extraction of honey is also said to be doing a specific. The last point which we have to consider as a part of your section 35 AD is nothing but your specified business is what? Any person who is engaged in what? Engaged in something called as production of wafer. So ultimately semiconductor wafer. So any entity who is engaged in production of something called as semiconductor wafer. Semiconductor wafer. So ultimately that unit is also said to be called as a specified business. Semiconductor wafer unit is also said to be called as a specified business. What is the meaning of semiconductor? So semiconductor will be there in all your electronic device. That semiconductor allows the transmission of electricity. So if current is passing, say your mobile, you are putting some charging for your mobile. So if this wafer is not there, I mean the semiconductor is not there, directly the electricity will flow into your machine and ultimately your machine will burn. So this semiconductor regulates the flow of electricity. It will take the electricity and it will convert that into respect to volts and voltage, and that will be given to the electronic device. That's what is the importance of your semiconductor wafer. So any person engaged in development of this is said to be called as doing your specified business. And one more point I need to mention, any entity engaged in providing some sort of infrastructure. What is the meaning of infrastructure? Say let me take an example of GMR. So what GMR generally do? It will construct either dams, it will construct either roads, or it will construct something called as your airports. So any entity engaged in providing some sort of infrastructure on or after 1st April 2017. So infrastructure facilities when on or after 1st April 2017. So any sort of things after 1st April 2017, then ultimately what will happen? That is said to be called as a specified business. So I will call that as a specified business then. Okay. So these are the business which are called as a specified business. Now what the amount of deduction is? The amount of deduction, let us see something called as a amount of deduction. What is the amount of deduction? So in this case the act clearly says 100% of capital expenditure incurred, 100% of capital expenditure incurred for the purpose of business is allowed as deduction. So 100% of capital expenditure incurred for specified business. Now we are in a comfortable position to understand something called as a specified business. So 100% of the capital expenditure incurred for the specified business is allowed as deduction. Now always the fundamental, capital expenditure does not include what? Capital expenditure does not include, in this case, land. Land in all the cases it is not included. So capital expenditure does not include something called as your land. So land is not considered as your capital asset. So here let us write there is few list. So capital expenditure does not include. What it does not include? Does not include. Let us see. It says that capital expenditure does not include, the first one is something called as well land. So capital expenditure does not include the expenses towards land. You may be incurring some sort of expenses to land and building. There you can take the amount of building, but there you cannot take the amount of land. Say suppose 30 lakhs is the cost you had incurred. Of the 30 lakhs, let us consider 10 lakhs is for land, 20 lakhs is for building. 10 lakhs you can't take that as deduction, 20 lakhs you can take it as deduction. So land is not allowed as deduction. Apart from the land, it also says if you are incurring any sort of capital expenditure towards something called as goodwill, even the goodwill is also not to be considered as a asset. Specified business, you cannot consider as your capital expenditure which is eligible. And the last one which is mentioned here is something what? Which is nothing but your financial instrument. So these are the three assets which are not eligible. So financial asset is also not eligible. Rest other capital expenditure is eligible. So apart from, other than above, now let me write it here, other than the above three, other than the above three, remaining capital expenditure is allowed as deduction. So apart from that, remaining any sort of capital expenditure is allowed as deduction if the expenses, okay, now let us say, is allowed as deduction, okay, is allowed as deduction if what? If expenditure is paid in account payee check, okay, account payee check, account payee draft, okay, account payee check, account payee draft, or electronic clearance system, or any net banking, or through any prescribed mode, when if expenditure exceeds rupees 10,000. Same as your depreciation. Same point we have covered there, and same point we are covering here also. Once you want to take the depreciation, there what? You should purchase the asset by account pay check or account pay draft or electronic clearance scheme or whatever it is, you are supposed to incur. How you should incur? If the amount is more than 10,000, only if it is through account pay check, account pay draft, or ECS or any other prescribed mode, you can take depreciation. Otherwise, that is not to be considered as your actual. Same case here. If the capital expenditure is less than 10,000, you can incur that in cash. But once the capital expenditure exceeds 10,000, even though the capital expenditure is not land, even though the capital expenditure is not goodwill, even though the capital expenditure is not a financial asset, if that is more than 10,000 paid through account pay check, not paid through account pay check, not through account pay draft, or not through ECS, or not through prescribed mode, this is allowed. So to take that as deduction, up to 10,000 you can pay that in cash, but once it exceeds 10,000, only through the prescribed mode the payment has to be made. Otherwise, you can't take the amount as deduction. Now, the next condition, whatever asset you are purchasing, you are taking that as deduction 100%. Now, the next condition says such asset acquired should be used for minimum period of 8 years. Now the next condition is what? The next condition says that any sort of capital asset acquired should be used for minimum 8 years. So what I have to do? Capital asset acquired should be used for minimum 8 years. So minimum 8 years you are supposed to use. So any sort of capital asset acquired should be used for minimum 8 years. What happens if I sold? What happens if I sell within a period of 8 years? Now, if the asset is disposed, now you need to link this to section 28. This point we have covered there. So if the capital asset is disposed or discarded or demolished, what will happen? Whatever amount of deduction allowed earlier will be taxable. There what we have discussed, whenever we are discussing section 28, there we have discussed that the amount allowed as deduction, what is the amount allowed as deduction? 100% of the actual cost. The plant and machinery cost is 15. You are taking 15 lakhs as deduction. Now what is the amount you will take? 100% of your 15 lakhs. So 15 lakhs you are taking that as deduction. Now the asset is disposed with the period of 8 years. What 28 says? Whatever amount you are getting, that amount or whatever amount allowed as deduction earlier, that amount becomes taxable. So ultimately, any sort of assets disposed within, if asset is disposed within 8 years, then amount of deduction allowed earlier, amount of deduction allowed earlier is taxable. So whatever amount of deduction you had allowed earlier becomes taxable. So that's what is something which is nothing but the other condition you are supposed to satisfy. Then the last condition which we need to see. What is the last condition here? Specified business. Whatever specified business you do, that specified business should not be formed by split off. That business should not be formed by reconstruction or amalgamation. Okay. So such business should not such business should not be such business should not be as a result of such business should not be as a result of what? As a result of such business should not be as a result of reconstruction. Say already one company is there, X Limited, Y Limited. X Limited has been reconstructed to Y Limited. So if in that case you cannot take 3580. So such business should not be as a result of reconstruction or amalgamation or whatever it is. It should not be such type of company. If all these conditions are satisfied, then you can take the 100% of such expenses is allowed as deduction.